My name is Alice Spackman. I live in Springfield, Missouri. I was diagnosed October the 24th of 2014 with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I was told that without chemo I had 2 to 4 months to live, and with chemo I had 8 of the most miserable months of my life to live. That's not much choice.
We had been on a trip, and Alice thought maybe she had food poisoning. She said, I'm going to run over to the hospital. I know exactly what's wrong with me. They had taken some x-rays, and they come in and they said, you know, we're finding a blockage that we think we better do another CAT scan or something. Sure enough, he come back, and he said, no, he said, you have pancreatic cancer.
And I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer and told that I had 2 to 4 months to live and then die. It was just real blunt. So Jim called me and he said, there's a doctor in Bolivar called Dr. Leo. And he's supposed to be really, really good and we need to go see him. I said, oh, come on, Jim, in Bolivar? And he said, well, when I get home tonight, let's research him. So on the computer, he brought Dr. Leo up at the Carrie J. Babb Cancer Center. And we looked at the cancer center, and it was a beautiful facility right across the street from CMH Hospital.
I found nothing but good things about Dr. Leo. I found that he was really probably one of the very best doctors she could see.
So the next morning I called down and I got the secretary or the receptionist that answers the phone, and she was very efficient, very thorough, very concerned, very attentive to what I was telling her. And I said, well, how do I get in front of Dr. Leo? She said, well, you fax me all your medical records and I'll present them to him and then we'll get back with you. Within 2 hours, the same receptionist called me back and Dr. Leo had already gone through my stack of medical records and wanted to see me immediately. He sat on a little stool, put himself at eye level with me, and talked very openly, very honestly, but did not have the bleak outlook that I had been given. Granted, it was a serious situation, but he felt like he could prolong my life to a degree, not get rid of the tumor, but shrink it, maybe poison it. I made up my mind at that point. My faith in God would carry me through, and whatever He chooses for my life is what I will live with and accept. And I was going to make sure that I was positive about everything that come my way and make the best of it.
Her positive thinking makes me so positive too. And the people I think that sit around her, I noticed at the hospital, they have a little bit of excitement that, hey, maybe this isn't so bad after all. Maybe life can be okay for a little longer.
I had about 2 chemo treatments or 3 when we did the first PET scan to make sure that he knew exactly where all the cancer was that he was dealing with, which turned out to be the tumor in at the top of the pancreas blocking the bile duct, and my liver was full of cancer. So when the first PET scan, and we confirmed where all the cancer was, and then the next, after all the treatments, then the next PET scan, and I couldn't have a PET scan, so he said, let's do a CAT scan. So we got down there and we did the CAT scan, and then I went over to Dr. Leo's office, and he brought it up on the computer, and he said, here's your liver, and here's all the cancer on your liver, and here's your pancreas, and then here's your lungs, and here's your heart, and he went on and on and on. I said, wait a minute. And he said, what's the matter? And I said, I didn't see that tumor. He said, it's gone. I've had another CAT scan since then, and we were concentrating on the liver. Most of the small cancers were completely gone. The other small cancers were so small they were not even concerned about them. And the 4 big cancers were all sizably smaller. So then Jim says, well, now, Dr. Leo, with that tumor gone, she can live longer. And he said, no, most pancreatic cancer patients never live more than a year. But she's not normal. But here I am, almost a year later, thanks to Dr. Leo and the Carrie J. Babb Center. I owe this past year to the staff and Dr. Leo.